Hey, Camille here, copycatter. We're back again. Last time we were making a dish with tofu. Today we're going to do tofu again. And I told you last time that we were going to do 3 different kinds of tofu. And there's like a firm, medium, and then today we're doing the super firm. And at the 3rd one we're going to use a silk tofu. So you can get all your tofu over with, done with. You'll know how to do different things with each one. Always, sometimes, use your own judgment on some of these recipes that I give you. Like if I use a spice that you don't like, use your own judgment. You can always ask me. You can email me at camillescopycat.com and I will answer your questions for you. Today I'm going to be doing chicken fingers. We're going to be copying chicken fingers, but they're going to be made out of tofu. They're called tofu fingers. They're easy. Kids will love these. Your family will love them. Most of the recipes I make, I think you're not going to have a lot of problem with people saying, oh, I just absolutely don't like them. Oh, that tastes like tofu. The tofu does not taste like tofu. Tofu, if you eat it by itself out of the package, maybe not. You do something with it, it takes on its own form. So the tofu I'm using today is called the soya. It's a really, really, really good tofu. I really wouldn't use any other tofu for this recipe unless you can get a super firm one. You'll see the difference in the one I used last time. When I drain this one, I can drain it and I can wrap it, and the little bit of water that's in it will come out quickly. So in other words, you don't have to do it like hours in advance. So I'm going to take the little bit of water out right now, then I'm going to wrap it and you're going to see what I'm talking about. But first what we're going to do is we're going to start your oven 400 degrees. We're going to set the oven. Okay, so now I'm going to drain this. And this is an organic tofu. Like I said, tofu, I don't think you have to go organic, but if you can, and it's the same price, why not? Anything you can do to better it, get it while you can. Now you can see automatically how when I cut this tofu, how firm it is. This is so firm. And when you open this up, there's going to be hardly, almost no water. Maybe a tablespoon of water. That is what I like about this tofu. If you can't get it in your area, you might be able to order it online. But I know a lot of grocery stores do carry it. So what I do is I wrap it in paper towel first. And this is a tofu that you don't really have to worry about the water in it, but I like to get it all out. And then I take it and I wrap it in a towel. And then I go like this. By the time I'm done preparing the other ingredients, this is going to be ready to cut. So, and I'll put a heavy little block on there. So right now, I'm going to measure out, and what you're going to do is you're going to do kind of like a dipping process, like a coating and a dipping, which of course your fingers are going to get messy. If it bugs you, wear rubber gloves, but it doesn't me. So what I'm going to do first is I have, this is a gluten-free recipe, by the way. It's vegan and it's gluten-free. I have a gluten-free seasoned flour. You can get it, it's called Kentucky Kernel. You can get it at the grocery store or you can order it online. You don't have to use this. Keep in mind, always try to improvise and use your own judgment on a lot of things. You can use regular gluten-free flour and you can season it. Use your imagination. Oh, I love garlic powder. I love onion powder. Maybe I want a little paprika. Whatever you like, a little bit of salt and pepper, you can season up your own flour. Or you can buy this. I like because it's easy, quick, and I like the seasoning in it. So you're going to use that, you're going to mix that, and then you're going to mix, you're going to get yourself just a small little flat dish like this, and you're going to mix half a cup of this, flour, and put that in. And like I said many times, I'm not a real measuring person. I like to just throw everything in. And there'll be a time where you'll get, eventually, that you'll be able to know spices and know ingredients by just looking at them. And you'll be able to do that. And I can tell you right now, it's a lot easier to be able to do it that way. I'm going to use 1/4 of a cup of nutritional yeast. One of the things too, being a vegan, you're going to use a lot of nutritional yeast, a lot. You'll use it for a lot of recipes. You'll be surprised. This is a half a cup, so I know a fourth of a cup is half of the half a cup. So I'm going to put a fourth of a cup in there. Why dirty another measuring cup? So then I'm going to take and just kind of mix it together a little bit. Now, another thing I like to do is I like to take lemons. I like to use fresh lemons for everything. I don't like to use that concentrated stuff you buy in the store. I really like to use fresh. They're not that expensive. It's just a little man power or woman power with the hand squeezing. I take and I squeeze my lemons ahead of time, probably 4, and I put them in here. I had an old vanilla bottle because I make my own vanilla now. And I put it in here, it works great. So, and I keep it, and when I need it, I got it. So I'm going to say a couple squirts, but really a tablespoon is what you're going to need. So I'm going to measure it for you and put it in there. So you got a tablespoon. You know, a lot of times too, these recipes are kind of simple and not overdone. But if you like things that are more overdone, like maybe you like more salt, maybe you like more garlic, maybe you like more things, you know, when you first try the recipe, please, by all means, change them. Most of the time you can change them to your liking. And now you're going to use about a half a cup of water. And it's going to make it like kind of like a paste type thing. It's going to make kind of like, well, when you put a batter, well, like a pancake batter, almost. That's exactly what it's going to be like. So you're going to mix it up. And that nutritional yeast, by the way, has a unique smell to it. And I like it. Some people might not, but I really like it. And it makes things taste kind of, maybe give you like that cheesy taste, because, you know, vegans do not eat cheese. So it gives you, and when you are making different recipes, which I will show you in the future, how to make your own cheese, which is incredible. And I have some really unique recipes coming up soon. They're a little bit time consuming, so I don't want to get into details right now, especially in the summertime. I'd rather pick simple things for you to make. So now what's going to happen is, which is perfect, this is perfect. This batter is going to be like this. It's perfect. And you know what? Don't panic if it's not. Add a little more water or a little more flour, whatever you think, you know, you can do to get the batter kind of to that consistency. So now I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to put, now I've got 2 dishes here, as you can see. And now, and this is kind of messy, but I'm going to put a cup of these, they're gluten-free panko coating chips or breadcrumbs. Now here's 2 things you can do. You can either buy them in the store, which are a little pricey, but easy, quick, you don't have to mess with it. They do have to be seasoned. Now I took and put them in this container, and I put my own seasoning. And again, do what you want. I like my stuff a little spicier, so you can put paprika, you can put a cayenne pepper. I put a smoked paprika in there. You can put garlic powder, onion powder, however you like spice. You can put oregano if you want it more of an Italian flair, if you like that. There's just different things you can put. Don't overthink it. Please do not overthink it. Just coat them and put them in there. And if you can find the seasoned panko gluten-free chips or coating in the store, get that too, by all means. But you also can take gluten-free bread and put it in the toaster or let it dry out or get hard. Then put it in your food processor and process it, and it'll make breadcrumbs, which really works good. So now I'm going to use about a cup of this. And another thing, like again, if you don't think it's enough when you're done, use some more. It's not a big deal. I did use smoked paprika in mine because I can smell it. I love smoked paprika. All right, so got kind of like this consistency, you see it. Now here comes the fun part. We're going to take the tofu. And now you can see how the tofu, I personally love tofu, so I'm going to be doing different things with it all the time. I'm always going to come up with something. So you can see how it really is firm. It's so firm, and it's dry. There's no wet, which is nice. And so if you want to make things, if you want to make like sandwiches, and different recipes like to make it look like chicken or any kind of a meat type of a recipe, you would want to use a super firm. Any kind of like dessert recipes, you're going to use more of a silk or like a medium tofu. So what you're going to do, you can use your own judgment on this. You can cut it any way you want. I do about 1/4 of an inch slice, and I just keep going. Then I cut them in half, and then I'm going to stick them in there. So you just kind of do that, and then you get to here. All right, so now I just kind of slice that in half, and then I start throwing them in the wet batter, because you know, the wet first, the dry second, because the dry is not going to stick. It's going to make the wet really messy. So if you make that mistake, you need to start over. You know, the good thing is you can just wash this off and start over. So just kind of throw them in there like that. They don't have to be perfect. If you want to do them skinnier, make them look more like fries, you could do that for kids. I like them a little chunkier because sometimes I like to use this recipe for sandwiches. All right, so now here comes the messy part. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these in here in the wet part. Now what I did is I took a cookie tray, and I lined it with parchment paper. You're going to want to do that because this stuff's kind of messy. And then I sprayed it with Pam. You can take a brush and brush olive oil on there if you want, however you want to do it. And it sounds like my oven is ready to put it in, so that's a good thing. That's a good sign. So now you're going to just go like this. You're going to get those in there. It's going to look like this. It's going to look just like that, kind of messy looking, which really the messier the better, because then these things really stick to them good, which I like. And this is real simple, a very simple recipe. Very, very. This is something you can make when you get home from work. You really can. You don't have to worry about, oh God, it's going to take me forever. It isn't. It's really simple. It takes, I think, like 40 minutes or so, 30 minutes to cook. It's 15 minutes on each side, so that's not a big deal. You could throw this in and make everything else. And this is another thing too, this is a great side. So you can use this, like I said, you can use it as like chicken fingers. So if you wanted to have a salad with it and some vegetables and mashed potatoes or French fries or whatever, you could do that. So now you're going to see how this coats it. Really, really nice. So you're going to put it in here, and you just keep doing the same thing. Just coat it, and it's very fun. Messy, but fun. And you can see why you can't make the mistake of doing the coating first and then the wet stuff second. It is not going to work. Coating's got to be last. So put that one in there. We got a little big one there. That one will be mine. I'll make a good sandwich out of that one. So just kind of coat it, and I'm sure you guys have done this before, and if you haven't, a new lesson for you. So it doesn't matter if the chips get in this the wet sauce. That doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt it a bit. So just put them in there. Go like this. And if you have any of this left over too, another thing you could do is you could, summertime zucchini. You can take and get some zucchini, make some strips out of it. If you have some left over, just swirl them in there and put them in your chips, and you're good to go. And it's good. It's really good. All right, so let's do these last few, and then I'll put them in. And then we're going to make a sauce that you dip these in. And this sauce is so good, that your kids will love it. You might have to make more sauce than what the recipe calls for, because you're going to probably eat spoons of the sauce. So we're almost done here, and we're going to put these in. And you can double this recipe too if you have a big family or party or whatever. Just double it and get 2 things of tofu. So now we're going to spread them all around so they're kind of even. Do the best you can. You don't have to get perfect here. Just kind of, on anything, you don't have to try to be perfect. Don't try to be perfect, because obviously I am not. So now I'm going to wipe this off my hands, and I'm going to get this in the oven. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it on 15 minutes on one side. I'll set the timer, and then I'm going to do 15 minutes on the other side, and it's done, and it's amazing. It's just amazing how it takes form. What you're gonna really like about it is it doesn't taste like tofu. I love it. See how nice it looks? Well, wait till you see how it looks when it comes out. So we'll put that in. Okay. Now we're gonna make the sauce. We get rid of this. Of course, everything, when you got nails, everything gets caught in it. All right. Wipe this off a little bit, clean up the area so you can see what I'm doing. Now, you can use, on this sauce, I like fresh garlic as much as I always can over powdered garlic. It's up to you. You don't have fresh garlic, please use powdered. Use onion garlic. Use onion powder or powdered garlic, either one. So what you're going to do is you're going to, make sure I get all these things. All right, so you're going to use a half a cup of vegan mayo. I always use vegan mayo. And this one's by Hellman's. I like this one the best. You're going to put about a half cup. And if, like I said, if you want to make more, if you want to make a cup, go for it. So I'm going to put about a half a cup, and I know the measurement, so you're just going to use a half a cup. All right. So, and then I always put my dill in here because I buy a lot of dill at one time. You're going to use a teaspoon of dill. And canning season's coming, so we know we're going to need a lot of dill. All right, I'm going to use a teaspoon of dill, and you're going to use, you really just use a pinch of salt, and I use kosher salt, just a pinch, and a little bit of pepper. Oh, the lid's on this time. Make sure it don't come off. And you're going to use at least a tablespoon of maple syrup. You definitely want to do that. I use maple syrup for everything because it's not harmful. In fact, it's actually healthy for you. And use a teaspoon of that. And then, of course, my favorite. You're going to put the garlic in. I chopped up 1 clove of garlic. And like I said, use what you want, but if you use fresh garlic, you'll really notice the difference. Tremendously, in fact. So what you're going to do is you're going to mix this up. And I almost want to like eat this like ice cream or something. It's so good. All right. So, like any other dip, everybody knows dips are fabulous. Everybody loves dips. All right, so this one right here is perfect for that. And like I said, you can use this. You can use these as a dip, or you can use it as a sandwich and just use mayo, lettuce, and tomato, however you want to on a bun. So I'm going to show you the finished product and what it actually looks like when it's done, because we're not going to flip. This is what it actually looks like when it's completely done and you flip it on both sides. Incredible. Not only does it look good, but it really tastes good. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. Next week, we are doing the dessert in tofu, and that one you're really going to love. So like I said, if you guys have any questions ever, please email me, Camille@CamilleCopycat.com. And you guys, see you next time. Bye.